guys, it's your best fight friends. I'm Rachel, that's Kelsey, and today we're going to talk about a little thing that made your hits and misses column over at the Sweet Science, and that is the huge debacle that was instant replay on Saturday night for the Terence Crawford Kell Brook fight.
What a debacle. What an embarrassing, ugly, dumb way to spend 30 minutes of your airtime on ESPN, I think. And I think also a little bit dangerous because it's just...
So what happened...
I hate it. Rachel, tell us what you think.
Is we had the immediate, like the co-main event, I guess you want to call it. I don't know. The fight right preceding Crawford Brook. And it ended early because a guy's eye got swollen shut. And the ref in the ring called it as an accidental headbutt. And the commentators were like, you know what, we didn't see an accidental headbutt. We don't think it was that. And then they kept looking, and essentially they weren't going to use instant replay. They weren't going to go back and watch the entire round, right, to figure it out. But it seemed like to me that the ESPN, at least commentating team, made such a big deal about it.
And their producers, because that's how they decided to stay on this and leave the camera on the commission people while they ridicule them from like 5 feet away, sitting in their booths. And
essentially it seemed to me that the referee felt like backed into a corner. Okay, use instant replay, whatever. But I don't know. It was a huge debacle. I want to say this right at the outset because they forced us all as viewers, as hardcore boxing fans that stuck around through this to watch it. I actually think they got it wrong. I think it was from a punch. I think they got it wrong. That happens. So I just want to say that
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion. Yeah, I want to say that at the outset. I also want to acknowledge that when instant replay was first used in the NFL, it was a little messy.
It's still kind of messy sometimes.
Yeah, but now that I think it's pretty smooth now. But are there things that happen that are subjective where people have differing opinions? Like in the NFL.
Like when Dez caught it. That was a touchdown.
Absolutely, that happens all the time. And so, I mean, we recently started using instant replay in baseball, right? And there, it goes to somebody in a studio somewhere, not at the game, and they go over. So I'm just going to say, I get that it's bumpy. The way that it was handled was kind of just gross to me. It was unprofessional. I thought the commentating team way overstepped their bounds in their critique of the referee staff that was on for that fight card. And I also felt why in the world if you have a referee in the ring and then you have a referee who's a replay referee, why is he ringside? Why are we not protecting the refereeing? This doesn't happen in the NFL. We don't get people from both teams who all crowd the referee and you know what I mean? It just, Bob Arum was over there. It was this huge thing.
You got Bob Allen screaming at you. You got the television partner.
Keep having to go silent because somebody's getting cussed out.
It was ugly and bad and it was wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
And then I felt like it was almost like a power struggle. By the end.
Oh yeah, it definitely was.
They stuck with their call, right? Which I saw it as the referee decided we don't have evidence to overturn what was called in the ring, just like they do in the NFL, right?
It wasn't conclusive evidence
is what it seemed like. But we didn't get an explanation, so that's part of working out the kinks of how instant replay is going to work in boxing. But here's the other thing. Why could we not have just went to other content while they handled this?
Because they wanted to use their undue influence.
Forcing us.
To try to make ESPN decided as a whole, whoever runs that little group over there, that the commission was wrong and that they were going to do everything in their power to make the commission change its mind. That's not your job,
their
ESPN.
Fighter that suffered from the decision, right?
Yeah, it's the promoter's fighter, Jason Maloney, I think is his name. Frank Maloney, who lost the fight. That's who the vested interest is. The money is behind. That's why he's getting this immediate rematch in the first place against a fighter that already beat him.
And it's not we don't already
this is ridiculous.
ESPN.
You're already behind. Yeah.
You've
already done this to college football. Don't get me started on college football.
Right. they're not unbiased.
You're not
Let's just say that.
broadcast journalism. This is content marketing, and I think that I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that at least one of the three people sitting ringside, Joe Tessitore, Timothy Bradley, and Andre Ward, at least one of you could have taken a little bit of a different opinion. Instead, you're all just jumping on the same bandwagon. And I think acting ridiculously.
Joe Tessitore and Tim Bradley were just like all in on just criticizing like these referees, and just to a point that like I thought it was.
I'm saying it's not ESPN's job.
I felt like Ward was a little bit more reserved. But again, that's kind of his temperament, right? Just to be a little bit more reserved. But it would have been nice to have a dissenting voice that was like, hey guys, let's not just like all grab our pitchforks here and go after the referees. And then if you were on Twitter for that, like, man, that brought out some ugliness on Twitter too, where more people piled on. And then this is just ugly. A side note that I'm not a fan of, is that people all of a sudden like brought age into this, that apparently if you are above a certain age, you can't watch a monitor and make a call about replays. Like, you're just too old to like do that. And I don't get that at all. I think that that's completely like out of line. And I even had somebody tweet at me like they quote tweeted me to talk about their own thing. And they were like, yeah, try not to put somebody over the age of 40 behind the replay monitor. And I was like, you just used my tweet and I'm 39. Like, what are you like? It was just utterly, it brought out a lot of ugliness, like, all across the night. And I was like, man, this is really disappointing as a boxing fan. You know, and then their ESPN, or not ESPN, whatever the event was, like where they were at, like had this big thing that was like, this is boxing. And I was like, indeed.
I know, Matt, how embarrassing for us
boxing.
As boxing. This is boxing.
It's embarrassing.
This is why, yeah. I mean, it was bad. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Even like I had a friend reach out to me who doesn't really follow boxing. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So we got, I had opinions on this.
You did have a lot of opinions.
There's all my opinions. And
do with it what you will.
Do with it what you will.
If you don't agree with Rachel, the best thing to do is probably bring a television crew and have three people just scream at Rachel for at least 29 minutes.
And then bring up my age over
and
and over again.
And hope that Rachel will change her mind. And try like, every dysfunctional,
Rachel, you're
ridiculous,
almost 40. You're irrelevant now.
Yeah, tell her like,
you have no value. You're worthless.
Try to neg her into it. You know what I mean? Try all those things that all those three people did sitting ringside tried on the Nevada Athletic Commission people.
And here's the thing. I will agree that we have some training issue problems with refereeing and boxing. But what I don't agree is that this is the right way to handle it.
This is just creating more of that.
Like,
creating more of that.
Creating like a mob mentality where we just all jump on somebody. Like, that's not the right way to handle this. I don't like it. It made me feel gross. And I even disagree with the call that was ultimately like
Be better, boxing. Be better. Be the sweetest of all sciences.
I like that. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Or, hey, I just shared all my opinions. Comment, share your opinions.